Welcome. Today I will take my chances in Ireland. Year 867. No tea, no potatoes. Whiskey 500 years away. That's what hell looks like, I'd say. But I heard it actually warm there. I will start as this fella, whose name I shan't even try to pronounce, cause it will summon a minor Gaelic deity or an angry mob in comments. You might reasonably ask, why in God's name are you starting as someone who is in the mid-jump into the grave? And I will answer simply, that is exactly the point. Instead of playing as random aged, I will quickly pop over to his offspring, nice and young, raised exactly according to my strategic preferences. First thing first, we go for stewardship, because the dream here is to make most prosperous swamp in the world, while the pensioner goes into medicine focus, in heroic attempt to delay the inevitable. Marry some Colin with half-decent traits, see if we can squeeze out some young uns for our tiny little dynasty. Then we spend every last drop of prestige we've got to bulk up our troops. And that is it. Now we sit back, stick a kettle on, have a nice cuppa, and just wait for nature to take its natural course, and hopefully our misery with it. Right. My grand plan just walked straight out of the window. The fact that I'm about to die suddenly became a huge tactical disadvantage. Shite. I decisively throw myself into few quick wars for counties of Munster, trying to outrun my own obituary, and go for feasts and hunts. Need prestige fucking ASAP. Miraculously, I did not kick the bucket, managing to create the Dutch title and slap Tennessee elective on it, and anonymously vote for Junior McGenius. Since largest amount of Irish counties are under me name, switch research focus for useful bits like city planning, cause taxpayers need to lead somewhere, don't they? Move capital into me primary title, and I'm out of here. Okay, young lad needs a mentor. I have 2 pigs, and we'll go for this fella cause he got better traits. So there is a non-zero chance to get diligent. Nick some territories from weaker neighbors, standard Irish diplomacy really. And grab ourselves a senator, cause controls in bits. But would you fucking look at that? Our development will be absolutely grand. Get Noble Wayne's legacy to secure ourselves respectable genetics. As stewardship increases, so does the domain limit. Which means we desperately need more land. Funny how that works. Raiding being the only viable way to scrape together a bit of spare coins on hunts becomes a favorite pastime. Marry my courtiers to characters with witch traits so I can give it to young ones later. Now I move capital to Alone. This is a strategic location, because, well, it's in the middle, isn't it? Borders a lot of counties that will benefit from capital development. And best of all, it's a proper wetland terrain. Now you develop the capital decision. Also put Steward on development and Marshall on increased control. Back to hunting, lads. New culture tradition is not gonna earn itself. Once I have enough, I add wetlanders to Irish culture. Listen, don't judge. Venice is half a meter under the water most of the year, and no one fucking bats an eye. Besides, it has benefits, decreased construction cost on wetland tiles, and also massive 25% development growth. Once I get architect and avaricious traits, I switch to medicine focus. There is a dire need for iron constitution to counter fucking cancer. Dublin is of Norse culture, so I will hold off development to sort that out. Meanwhile, we nab Ulster to complete the real nicely. Now, to become feudal, we are meant to research 2 more technologies, and then I will be able to make decision. But sure as hell we are not doing that. There is a cheeky shortcut. All you need is someone feudal who outranks you. Here is Hastings lad who negotiated Danelaw. That will do nicely. So I swear fealty to adopt the feudal ways through liege decision. Cost a tiny fraction of the usual price. Still needs organized phase though. And bam! Just like that we have seen the light of civilization. Naturally we declare war for independence on the very same fucking turn. Gather the lads. And if I say he did not put much of the fight, that would be no lie. Now the real work begins. It is time to build. We start with wetland farms, because they reduce construction costs of other buildings and they have additional bonuses because of wetlanders tradition. Go for trade port wherever possible for extra development. Plus we got bonuses because of maritime mercantilism too. Time for a bit of importing. We pop over to Silk Road to bring back block printing tradition. That will be another 10% development growth. Then we just keep filling every empty slot we see. Once that's done, start upgrading. Apparently in latest patches the only way to successfully shake down the Pope is to be completely broke. Good to know. And then I got mighty lucky and Champa rice appeared on Silk Road Market. Just look at those bonuses. Absolute beauty. Air gets Witch Secret and now I can host Grand Rides. It's just a family gathering really. Once city building innovation unlocks, we can start building cities. So let's do that. Reform religion. I want megalith construction and ritual celebration for development bonuses in temple holdings. And ritual to keep Pope as head of faith so we can milk him. God bless him. Alright. Pass it to the next lad. So anyway, we are sitting on 16 development in the capital and we are making a bit of money. Not swimming in gold, but sure it will do. For now we are off to hunting and hosting grand rides. Passionately waiting to get architect trade so we can get the whole construction circus rolling again. I had to create kingdom title cause that allows to master more lads, which were mighty needed cause Scotland was acting the maggot. Add industrious cultural tradition. That will allow construct meals 1 era earlier. Still need the right technology for that, mind you, but it is on the list. Then we discover ledger, which means more building slots. Grand job. So we start throwing up manor houses thanks to that champa rice business. Next thing, I elevate my chosen lad to co-monarch. That way he inherits the kingdom and get votes in Munster and Connacht. The other fellas got duchies of Ulster and Leinster, and the crown goes to Ardgus, who is a military expert apparently, because I have a plan to rearrange some borders for purely decorative reasons. Not that I can build much at the moment, because I am limited by technologies of my time. My stewardship is a bit rubbish if we are being honest, so I temporarily hand some land to local boggers. Just hold it, don't touch. I must confess, at one point I absolutely lost the run of myself and went in swinging like a madman. Wars everywhere, left, right and center. But sure, it worked out. I was able to create custom realm as an outcome of that outing. Now Ireland's an empire, not bad for the gang of lads who started with a muddy field and ambition. Also, as a result of pushing through borders, lunacy has found me. So eventually, things settle and now it looks like this. Also Nordics are part of it, but I mean they can handle a drink, so we let them in. Right then, bad at economics. 38 development, we still have a long way to go. Merge city keepers tradition, which is mighty important because with it we will be able to build mills not only in castle holdings but in cities as well. Then we discover bailiffs. That gives extra building slot, time to get busy again. Build mill in all the castle holdings. Water or wind doesn't fucking matter, if it spins we are building it. Now that the city keeper tradition is online, we improve the fit and build a mill in every town. That will usually require to demolish whatever town mayor built, but it is for the greater cause. And start furiously upgrading everything we build. If you need to upgrade building, doesn't it mean you built it wrong? We are at 50 development, looks much brighter now, and it will get even better soon. Edges of the realm are still lagging behind, mind ya, sitting at around 30, like they are taking a nap. Unfortunately, Geralt was not too young when he ascended to throne, so old fella died from self-inflicted, before accomplishing all that was envisioned. But it is fine. Roak is the right man for the job. Just look at him, absolute state of a man. We have 300 souls to move to a bright future and are making decent money from our real estate. Take oaths to shape realm, get architect trade, and we are back in business. I politely thank my extended relatives for looking after me land, but I can't take it from here. Off you go. Tis my swamp. Finished windmills technology for extra slots, so I can again go and build in my domain. And right after that, Guild's innovation opens the last slot. It is finally taking shape of economy instead of just a bunch of enthusiastic villages. After a while the money starts rolling in properly. And wouldn't you know it, once I'm rich, the Pope suddenly stops sending me money. Funny how that works. So I decided there is no longer any reason to pretend he is important. I quietly slipped in and took over Italy while he was obvious to my maneuvers. and then pressed my absolutely legit Irish claim on Rome and tossed him out. Immediately after, I reformed religion, replaced rite with Alexandrian catechism and mystical celebration with esotericism. Why? I don't know. Seemed like a good idea. I gave it a lash. Then I dismantled Daddy institution on same turn and called it a day. Now we are safe from crusade menace for good. Start a holy legend to help spread our shiny new creed. Later on we add parochialism. That means more money from cities and cheaper construction. No downside to that. Finally reached 100 development in capital. Tis a bit late, sure, but the good news is the rest of the island isn't lagging too far behind. You can see 86 on south, but only 76 on north, because it has a miserable terrain without bonuses from traditions. So I moved the capital up there and stick the steward on the job of speeding things along. Right, so it is 100 here and 100 here. There's still occasional 90s here and there, but that is cause of fucking plagues that keep botching my development. But overall we are very advanced land. I have 300,000 in the bank and I can pridefully pass this business to the next in line. Korban Dallas Multipass. This guy is here to finish me real estate magnum opus, the javel of fiscal crown, the thing tax officer dreams about after 3 pints. First thing we do is move the capital back where it belongs. The little development trick I pulled earlier did its job. And besides, I used to hold coronation there, so it is only right we return the place to its former glory. And since development phase is over, it is time to switch Great Megalis for taxed office. We just joined late medieval era and look at that research speed, absolutely flying. Average development of approximately 95s looks exactly like that. Crane's innovation finished, so now everything can be built to the maximum. Time for a final click through. Alright, this was the final fascination I can research. Everything else is ready. Everything is built. Tis done. Look at this title, it has 2 meals for maximum development. Paddy fields, manor houses and wetland farms provide great amount of money. A shrine from legend for extra taxes from holding. And tax office does the same, but for the whole duchy. The only thing is that hospices is not the best economic building. But look here, we have a trade port instead. This is what a perfect tile looks like. Every city is maxed out too, packed with meals for even more development. And the temples are cranked up to the limit with megalis to speed up whole thing alone. Now you might notice some counties drop below 90 development. That's cause we got 2 plagues in a row, which, how shall I put it, absolutely wrecked the place. Even so, the domain alone makes nearly 1500 gold, and honestly, it's not getting much better than that. So now, time to level Korban up to explore other legal means of making profit. Jump ahead a bit. Development is back to 100 absolutely naturally. Make note of income. 100, 100, 100, but that is wetlands. While here, 70, 60, 70, 60. Cause it's plains and it's a gobshite terrain, and there are no traditions to fix that either. But yeah, overall better with development. Well, this fella, if we are being honest, is a bit of a nepo baby. And hard work is already done, so well, he still needs to get his shit together. But objectively, he is living from benefits of his ancestors' sweat and taxation while attending hunts and spectating tournaments. What you should remember about stewardship is that it increases taxes from our domain, and I am not a man who is too prideful to pick up a dime from the road. So, if there is something that can give me a teeniest amount of stewardship, I'm gonna go for it, no matter where it is. We are making decent amount of money and recently hit the important milestone of 10 millions, almost 1,500 from the main, which is constituted from every county in Ireland. And atop of that I hold Siena for university and Goslar for bit of extra income from mine, and it gives a lot of bonuses to station siege troops. Well, how should I put it? I conquered about this much, but then my vassals got a bit zealous and took all of that land in my name. Good for me, I guess. And vassals sure are paying a lot of taxes. Anyway, it was a fun run. I did get a bit of Irish luck in the beginning, so strong start, but I had to put my back in it later to get all of this from one county. Thanks for watching. I hope it was interesting. So long.